गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः नम आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नम उगणाभ्यस्त्रगुं हतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथिभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः शत्रुभ्यः संग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः ईशुकृभ्यो धन्वकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो स्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वभ्यः स्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः दापे अन्धसस्पते पुरुषाणां येषां पशूनां माभिर्मारोमो येषां किञ्चनामहत् या ते रुद्र शिवा धनु शिवा विश्वा भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी दयानो मृडजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तपसे तपद्दिने शयद्वीराय प्रहरामहे मतिम् ययानः समसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननादुरम् मृडानो रुद्रो गणो मयस्कृति शयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्छं श्रयोश्चमनुराय जे पिता तदस्यामगवरुद्रप्रणीतौ मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकं मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितम् मानो वदी पितरं मोदमातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषि मानो गोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीरान् मानो रुद्रभामितो वधिरभिष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आराध्ये गोग्नमुत पूरुषज्ञे क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मे ते अस्तु रक्षाजनो अधिच देव भृग्यदाचनः शर्म यच्छद्विवर्वाः
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We are studying the 10th Anuvakam of Sri Rudram. I think last time I already explained the meaning of Aratte, Goghna Utapurushakne. Huh? Right? Okay. You're sure, no? Oh, Aratte Goghna, okay. I didn't explain, I thought I explained the meaning of, yeah. Goghna means the one who is capable of destroying the conscience. Go means, as said before, it is conscience, and the being is capable. Let your gentle form protect the good and let it not destroy our being and our conscience. Rakshachano, protect us all the time. Adhicha Deva, exalt us. That is what it means. Amongst all the things, exalt us and confer grace upon us. Adhicha Deva, Bruhyadhachana, Sharma Yachad Vibarha. Sharma. Lot of people commonly use this word Sharma, right? When you say Pravara, you say Abhivadaye, and then what do you say at the end? Your name and you add? Sharma. What does Sharma mean? No. The one who gives happiness to others is Sharma, not the one who is happy with himself. How many of us really understand the meaning of the word Sharma? When you attach the word Sharma, means you are taking the oath that you give happiness to others. Sharma, God is referred to here as Sharma, means give us a happiness, Yachad Dvibarha, in two different planes of our existence, in this world and in the spiritual context, both in the material and the spiritual context, give us happiness. Sharma means that. But for Kshatriyas it is referred to as Varma. Kshatriyas add at the end of their name, like Raja Ravi Varma, right? You know, Varma. Varma is added to them. Sharma is added to the rest of the clans. Varma means the one who protects everybody. That's the oath you take. Sharma Yachad Vibarha. Arate Goghna Uta Purushaghne Kshayadviraya Sumnamasmete Astu. Destroying our enemies. Sumnamasmete Astu. Please have a good mind towards us. See, this is prayers. Why are we making all these prayers? Because we are confessing that we are not living up to, like I already went through the meaning of why this prayer is so important in the materialistic sense. If you are working for a company and you take their car, you take their BlackBerry, you take their laptop, you take everything that the company is giving you, you are expected to use those as instruments to do the company's work, isn't it? Not your own work with all those things. Similarly, God has given so many faculties. God has given us all this incredible ability to hear, to see, to perceive, to cognize, to be able to have a healthy life, a prosperous life. When He is giving all these things, the point is to use these faculties given by Him back for His work. But we only sing and we only pray. In practice, zero. Most of us, including myself. Why? And then therefore confession, right? Tan man dhan sab kuch hai tera. Swami sab kuch hai tera. Tera tujhko arpan. Koi karta hai tera tujhko arpan? Kuch karta hai? Huh? Only we arpan whatever is convenient for us. Not arpan in the context of living as a complete surrender, doing his work. That's why in Bhagavatam is a very beautiful Potana says, Nee padyavalu alakinchu chavulun, ears that only hear about your stories. Ninnadu vakyambulan, words that speak only about your glory. Nee peran panicheyu hastayugamul, hands that are only used for your work. Nee murtipai chupulun, eyes that only are able to see your form. Nee padambula ponta mukku siramul, head that is bowing at your lotus feet. Nee sevapai chittamul, thoughts only upon doing your service. Nee pai buddhulu maaku nimmu karunan, neereja patrekshana. Even in order to get this type of thing, who you should refer to him only. Swami, please make sure that I am dedicating all the faculties you have given to me for your own work. In order to deserve that, you need his grace also. Huh? You understand? This is what the prayer is saying. Goghna, Uta Purushagne. Our senses are going to destroy our being, our conscience. Protect us from all of that, so that we are conferring happiness. We are conferred happiness by you in this world and in the next world. You see, this is very important to understand. Swami says, your nearest and dearest in Shirdi Baba, they sing a Arati. Rousseau, that Arati, no? Rousseau. Nadatta Guru Saima Majhavari. They sing that. What it means, nobody, my family, my friends, my gods, my demigods, everything that you can imagine, none of them will, when the time comes, they don't come and protect me. It's only my mother Sai that comes and protects me all the time. Huh? This protection is very incredible. For example, if you get heart attack, your wife takes the medicine, do you think you will get the benefit? Hello, it's a very simple question. If you get a heart attack, your friend takes medicine, will you get benefit? No, yes, yeah. If your wife is hungry and you eat gongur papu, will she be appeased of the hunger? No. The person who has the disease have to take the medicine. The person who has the hunger has to take the food. But this doesn't apply only in the case of God. Huh? How? If you get disease, he takes it upon himself, thereby saving you. Only God can do that. Not even your wife, your friend, your best of, nobody can do that. Only God can do that. Only God can appease your hunger. What happened in Krishna's time? What happened during Krishna's time? There is a beautiful story in Mahabharatam. This guy Durvasa was coming, and Pandavas were in forest at that time. They were living a very simple, humble life. And Durvasa came with his entire entourage. They all have to be fed. Just by the time they finished all the food, there was nothing left. In fact, Draupadi made sure that the vessels are washed so beautifully that she knew that there was not even a single speck of grain of rice even left in any of the vessels. And and all these people, they said, okay, I'm going to the river, we will do Sandhya Vandanam, come back, please have the food ready by that time. What did she do? We would have called Swati Tiffins or someplace. But she didn't have that opportunity. She had only one person to call. she called upon Krishna. Please save me from the embarrassment. I have to feed the guests. And it's not like in olden days, Atidhi Devo Bhava. When somebody comes, make sure that they get the food or at least a glass of water. Offer it to them. Not like today, sir, it's over, maybe Pizza Hut is open. Let's call it. Not like that. Today the context of who Atidhi is. I'll tell you one beautiful thing that happened to me recently. And I went to the temple, at Vinayaka temple here on Shravana Sukravaram. That day after the puja, I remembered that I didn't have the next day was the Punal, this thing. And I didn't have the spare Yajnapavitam. So after the whole puja was over, I went to the temple to get Yajnapavitam. And because it was around 1 o'clock, I went around 1:30 in the afternoon time to get the Yajnapavitam. That Shastrigal there, he made sure he went into the kitchen and he prepared food for me, put in a bowl, and he said, you have come at Aparanham, I can't let you go without taking prasadam. And gave me the Yajnapavitam. Why? Because this is dharma. Dharma is what needs to be practiced. Do you think he has any reason? In fact, he was having food at that time, and I had, because the next day was this Akhanda Rudra Parayanam, and I had to get the Yajnapavitam. And so when I went there, I was so touched, because he said, I am having food, can you please wait outside? So I said, no, please forgive me for coming at this time. But he made it a point, he went inside the kitchen, he prepared food for me, and he said, you cannot leave the temple without having it. Because somebody comes to your house, at that time, you cannot let them go without having. Because Annapurna will not stay with you. Hello? This is the point. It is not about the feeding the other. You are helping yourself. Annapurna will not stay in your house if you don't feed the person that comes at that point of time. At least you have to give them some fruit. So what happened in the case of Draupadi? She prayed upon Krishna. I can't let all these, not ordinary, guests, Durvasa and his entourage. So when she called upon him, Krishna appears and he says, can you please bring the empty vessel? When she got the empty vessel, in fact he creates that last grain of rice himself. And then when he eats that, what happened? Everybody else were full. Their pet was pet bhara. Right? How did it happen? If God eats, it's equivalent to all of us eating. Only in the case of God it applies. If we are sick, He takes upon the disease upon Himself. If we are hungry, that's why we say, first we offer the food to Him. Because if He has eaten, rest of us have already eaten. That's why you offer the food to God before you eat. Then the next mantra is saying, Stuhi Shrutam Gartasadam Yuvanam Mruganna Bhima Mupahatnu Mugram Muruda Jaritre Rudrastavano Anyante Asman Nivapantu Sena. Stuhi Shrutam Gartasadam
Stuhi Shrutam Gartasadam Stuhi Shrutam Gartasadam
Yuvanam Stuhi Shrutam Gartasadam Yuvanam
Stuhi Shrutam Gartasadam Yuvanam Stuhi Shrutam Gartasadam Yuvanam
Nuganna Bhima Mupahatnu Mugram
Mruganna Bhima Mupahatnu Mugram Mruganna Bhima Mupahatnu Mugram.
Not everybody is chanting. I can already feel that. Everybody should chant. Stuhi Shrutam Gartasadam Yuvanam
Stuhi Shrutam गर्तसदं युवानं स्तुतिश्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं
मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम्
मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम्
स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम्
स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम्
मृडाजरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो मृडाजरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन् निवपन्तु सेनाः निवपन्तु सेनाः Voice up. निवपन्तु अन्यन्ते अस्मन् निवपन्तु सेनाः निवपन्तु सेनाः निवपन्तु सेनाः मृडाजरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृडाजरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः
श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृगाजरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृडाजरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः
Stuhi means praise. Praise the celebrated one. Praise the one and the only one. Stuhi. Shrutam. Listen about only the one that needs to be listened about. Shrutam means also praising. Stuhi means, Shrutam means your voice. Okay? The one that needs to be heard is what? Our sound. This sound should be there only to praise Him. Stuhi. And now the rest of the one is description of who you are praising. Garta Sadam. Garta Sadam means the one who is living in the cave. Garta Sadam. Sadam means place to live. Garta means in the deep cave. And this deep cave is your own heart. The indweller of your own heart. Praise Him. Shruti also means Veda. Shrutam means the one that needs to be heard is the Veda. What does the Veda do? Praises only the indweller of your heart. In fact, the one that you are praising is actually within you, but most of the time you don't even know He is there. And therefore, you keep pressing calling bell on every other doorbell, and you are thinking that somebody will come out to bless you. You forget that there is somebody already inside you, the indweller. Padma koshat pratikashagum hridayanchapyadho mukham adho nishtyavitasthyante nabhyamuparitishthati. If you understood these mantras, it's actually describing who is residing where and exactly the place where he is residing. And Ayana means path, Narayana means the human being should take the path to go deep within himself to know who is staying there. And once you connect to the one who is staying there, Garta Sadam, you realize that Yuvanam, the most youthful one, not the one that with castor oil face, always youthful. Youthful means it's when you connect to your own self that is within, then you realize, oh, there is no need for me to be able to be suffering at all. Yuvanam. Why you need to be not worried about not only the young one inside your heart. Mruganna Bhimam. Mruganna Bhimam. He is the one who is the most ferocious, like a lion. If you understood why God is referred to here as a lion, is because a lion has no fear. That's why he is the king of the forest. Every other animal has fear. The only animal that doesn't have fear is lion. Let us roar. Okay? Right? Roaring is most important. Yeah. So, the lion aspect of it is fearlessness. And God is fearless. And why do you have fear? Fear comes because I give it the 4 words, remember. First is Himsa. Second is Simha. Third is Hamsa. Fourth is Soham. Himsa means very important. One guy introduced a gentleman by name Narasimha Rao. By mistake he said, now please listen to the beautiful music of Narahimsa Rao. Narahimsa Rao means the one who tortures people. Narasimha Rao is very different. Okay? So, please don't, if there is anybody by name Narasimha, don't get offended here. Okay? So, Himsa comes because of fear. The one who does violence is because they are fearful. And this fear within themselves is imposed as inverted superiority complex, and therefore they torture others. But the fear is within them. When you have no fear, from Himsa you go to Simha. Simha is the lion, stands for utmost awareness. Have you ever watched the lion? How much awareness the lion has. Just the way the lion even looks at something is so magnanimous. And this Simha is, God is referred to in this mantra as Mruganna Bhimam, the one who is the most fearless amongst all the animals. Upahatnu Mugram, the one who is ferocious and can destroy anything that can come in his path. Now you ask the question, Why is all this destruction coming, sir? You say, you just now said that destruction is violence. Does God have any fear within himself to destroy other people? Obviously, all these questions, you don't need to tell. You can hear all these questions because you go through this analysis. What is he destroying? He is destroying everything that is other than just the self, so that only the self remains. When you look at God, upahatnu mugram mruda jaritre rudrastavano anyante asman nivapantu sena. Do not use your army. Use it only to destroy everything else except me. That's what the prayer is saying. Oh, now you are seeing what is this destruction all of a sudden in the middle of Rudram. Why we are praying God to destroy everything else except me. These are what is unspoken is what you have to hear, not what is spoken. What this also means is keep the self. Everything other than the self, let it be destroyed. Means what? There is really nothing else. Only the self is remaining. All the rest of the stuff is what? Reaction, reflection, resound. It's created, self-imposed, something else. Therefore, let there be nothing else existing except the self. Means what? There is nothing else that is there to exist. What is existing outside of the self is what? A mirage. It's not real. Destroy what is not real and keep the one that is only real. That's what the other way of understanding the mantra. So, what is there to be destroyed means asat has to be destroyed. What is the asat? Hello, what is not real? What is not real? The mirage is not real. So now you can ask the question, what is not real about us? Dehamu pancha bhautikam. Dehamu kolaka tappadeppudu. Dehi niramayundu. Ganutimpaka dehi ki chavu puttukala moha nibandhanala mudralu levu. Swami says this. How beautifully the poem of Swami is. Dehamu pancha bhautikam. Body is just made of 5 elements. Dehamu kolaka tappadeppudu. Anytime this body can fall. The one that falls is what is called vriksha. The one that falls is vriksha. Definition of what vriksha is. Sometime or the other it has to fall. Dehi niramayundu. The one that is the indweller. Gartasadam. Yuvanam. He is ageless. He is always young and youthful. He has no association with any of that stuff. Therefore, what this prayer is, that destroy everything that is not real. Make sure that I am only connected to the one and the real. Mruda jaritre rudrastavano. Mruda means give us happiness. Jaritre means even the one that is decaying. Now it is the beautiful, these mantras are loaded with so much of encrypted knowledge that it is very difficult to do justice even to explain to them. It has to be experienced, not expressed. Mruda jaritre rudrastavano. I am praising you. Keep everything else means what? Keep the only one who is real within me, that is you, and let me not be carried away by anything else that is unreal. From the unreal to the real. What is unreal is our association consciousness is unreal. And this association consciousness first starts with the body. Because we are constantly associating, identifying only with the body. Nothing else. How Swami explains when you say this is, Swami takes his kerchief and he says this is my kerchief. Then what did you say? You is different from the kerchief. Right? You have heard Swami giving these discourses. He says this is my kerchief. Means what? I am different from my kerchief. Isn't it? If you are the kerchief, you say you don't tell this is my kerchief. Correct? So in the same way, you say this is my body. That means you are different from the body. So what is that you? And that's what Bhagavan Ramana says. Somebody said, I am meditating. Bhagavan said, if you really understood who is meditating, you don't need to meditate. Right? I am meditating. Who is meditating? We all use this. I am doing this. This is my stuff. This is my car. This is my body. This is my hand. It's different. You are identifying yourself different from all these things. Therefore, let everything else I am identifying that lose that identity consciousness. Therefore the self remains, and the self that remains is the one that is indweller, and that indweller is always youthful, not subjected to any of the vagaries associated with the body or the mind. Hello. Anyante asman nivapantu sena. Destroy everything else except the self. Means what? Let me be connected to the self-consciousness all the time. Let's recite that mantra again. Stuhe srutam garta sadam
Yuvanam mritam labhimam upahattam utram Rudajaritre rudrastavano anyante asman nivapantu sena.
One more time. Stuhe srutam
Sadam yuvanam mridam yabhimam upahattam utram Rudajaritre rudrastavano anyante asman nivapantu sena.
Mruda jaritre rudrastavano means I am associated myself with this body, thinking that it is this body that is giving me happiness. But I am forgetting that the one that is actually giving the happiness is not this body. See how beautiful this is, loaded with incredible knowledge of the self. Because if you really ask the question, all the stuff that we are doing, we truly believe that what is giving us the happiness is the body. But that body, Jaritre, that's the one that is decaying. Rudrastavano. Oh Rudra, I am thinking the body is giving me happiness. It's not the body that is giving happiness. In fact, the happiness is within us. All the time, we think we are dependent upon some external object, thinking that it is giving happiness. Hello, this is very careful. You have to listen to this very carefully. I asked Swami one time, Swami, you are telling that this body is not the one that is giving happiness. But let me tell you, when I eat that beautiful nujividu rasam, loaded with that beautiful, incredible flavor and aroma, I am getting happiness. It's incredible. How can you deny that it's not the body that is not giving that? How do you say that? How do I understand all this? Brahmananda, Nityananda, Paramananda, Atmananda, all those Anandas. I am getting Ananda when I am eating Avakai, when I am eating Nujivid Rasam. This is undeniable. I asked you, how do we understand that? Then you know what he said? Very beautiful. He said, Goti deggara kukka Yamukanu pattukoni korugutu untundra. He said one old dog is there. This old dog gets hold of a bone. And this old dog gets hold of the bone. It goes behind a small bush. And this old dog is constantly biting on this bone. And the harder the bone, is perceived, what does the dog do? The harder it bites on it. And this old dog has teeth that are loose, so one of the teeth starts bleeding. And then what happens? It now tastes this blood of its own, and now thinking that the blood is coming from the bone, and now it bites even more harder. And then what happens? Oh, the bone is really tasty now because it has the flavor of the blood. And he was giving this example like this. It was so revealing, it is so incredible. All of this is not described in the scriptures. Only the God of all the gods, out of his compassion, has given this incredible knowledge. And then he says, where is the happiness of this dog coming from? Its own blood. but it is thinking the external object is giving this happiness. It's nothing to do with that external happiness. Human being is exactly like this, no different from that old dog. Mruda jaritre rudrastavano. Once you understand this happiness is within you, and this happiness is beyond your perception of what the mind can experience, what will you do? Do you have to run after anything to get happiness? Because you realized. Imagine what that little boy that is sucking his thumb. Why is he sucking this little boy? Why is he? Thambi. Thambi, why is he Thambi is sucking his thumb all the time? He's getting happiness because of the own saliva that is becomes more and more, and the little fellow thinks that he is actually getting the milk of his mother, and therefore he is very happy sucking his own thumb. How different are we? It's not your car, it's not your wealth, any of this thing that is giving happiness. Once you know how to be happy with yourself, you are not dependent on any external object to be happy at all. You are always happy, and that is Nityananda. Always happy. No need to be dependent on an external object for happiness. But I am thinking, it's my body that is giving me happiness. Destroy this artificial feeling. That is what has to be destroyed. Destroy this dependency on an external object to be happy, and give me the happiness that I can find within myself, in this youthful self of mine that is deep in my heart, and let me constantly praise and connect to this self that is giving me happiness. Stuhi, Shrutam, Gartasadam, Yuvanam, Mruganna Bhimam, Upahatnu Mugram, Mruda Jaritre Rudrastavano, Anyante Asmannivapantu Sena. What an incredible prayer this is. What an incredible prayer this is. Now why is all of a sudden this Mruganna Bhimam is there? It is that fearlessness. In the context of this self-pleasure pursuit, you will face so many hurdles. What happened when Buddha went and sat under this peepal tree? His fundamental question is, where is the basis of the suffering in a human being coming from? This is the question why Buddha relinquished everything and went and sat in the forest. The question is, what is the basis of a human suffering? This is the question he asked. And now when he started meditating on layer after layer after layer, what happened? The story describes, right? How it all, you see in the movies, right? Hiranyakashipu goes and doing, Vishwamitra doing, all of a sudden what happens? Everything turns very black in color, lot of rain comes, one guy is throwing stuff at him, he is still undisturbed. Om Namah Shivaya. Saw in the movies, right? Same thing happens also. Sit 10 minutes for meditation, focus on your breath. All of a sudden, this thought, that thought, this coming, that coming. All of a sudden, oh, what happens if I sit more than 10 minutes? I will be losing time to be cooking, or my project work is getting delayed. I am not able to do some. All these are disturbances. Same tapas that those guys did. We are also doing the tapas. The difference is they didn't pay any attention to that. They kept focusing, go inside, inside, inside. But we can't stay inside. It is all about outside only for us. No inside. It's all about outside only. When we focus on the outside, then there is no inside. The mind cannot stay inside. It cannot stay inside. Its nature is to flow outside. What takes you outside? Senses. Mind follows the senses, and therefore it cannot stay inside. So the prayer is, let me stay inside, deep within my cave, the Hridaya. Let me stay inside. Let me connect to that inside. Then what happens? Youthful. Then all of a sudden, what happened in the movie? The guy that is doing the tapas, he becomes like a skeleton, and all his dadi, everything, and he's growing all of this stuff. Then Brahma comes, bush, he gives the varam. Then what happened? All of a sudden he looks youthful. What happened? Same prayer here only. Youthful is inside. Not outside. You keep on coloring your hair. Doesn't matter. Today it is black. You color it. Tomorrow it becomes brown. Then you lose the hair. Then what happens? Nothing to color. No problem. Huh? Why all this stuff you are going through coloring something what is happening? Let it have its own color. Who cares? Huh? You have to look youthful. Everything is how you look outside is more important than what you are inside. Gartasadam, Yuvanam, Muruganna Bhimam. So the fearlessness is, let me not go back on my path when all these troubles and tribulations come my way. Let me be like that lion which is totally on its own and by itself. That is Chaitanya. This lion is Chaitanya. How many of you heard the story about the lion? My favorite story of lion. Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he used to tell this story to all the youth. You know the story of the lion? Did I tell you in the class? No? There was a lioness that was going in a forest chasing a flock of sheep. Then what happened? In the exertion of going after, this lion delivers a cub. Didn't I tell you this story? Huh? Yeah. Delivers a cub and it dies. And this cub was brought up by the sheep. Right? Right? Yeah. In the same story, what happened? The cub was thinking it is like the sheep. It was eating grass. It was saying, huh? And once a real lion came and roared at all this. What happened? All the sheep ran away and this cub could not run fast. And it tumbled in the grass. And then it looks at this thing and he said, meh. Remember that movie that whatever that Shrek or whatever, the little kitty looks like that. It looked like that. Meow. Huh? Yes. Yeah, he is the lion himself. Look at his hair. Huh? The lion. Huh? Then what happened? This lion immediately recognized the fate of this little cub. What did it do? It picks it with its teeth and he takes him to a lake and shows the reflection of this cub in the lake. And the cub looked at the lion and its own reflection. It had a shock of its life that it never realized that it looks like this guy. All of a sudden, first of all, it didn't even look like any of the other guys that were hanging around him. Same sheep story only. One guy buys iPad, the rest of the guys follow. Sheep only, everything. Huh? It's like sheep following, each sheep follow. Why? You don't even ask the question, do I need it or not? Huh? Then you just keep following the sheep one after another.
You get the answer, no.
No, don't take anything. I really like apple. Please don't. So, the sheep and the story is it didn't look like the sheep. Most of the time, we are living like that. We compare ourselves to the sheep around us. One guy does that, everybody follows the same thing. They don't even ask the question, should I be doing? And everybody, this cub then was astonished because it has so much power to shake the entire sheep world. They all ran away just by the roar of this guy. But here we are thinking that we are the sheep. That is Mruganna Bhimam. What the Mruganna? Mruga means what? Pashu means the one that is tied. The one that has the bondage is Pashu. The one who breaks the bondage is Pashu Pati. The one that has the ability to be tied to something. We are all Pashus only. Huh? Look at all that incredibly powerful ox or cow or whatever it is. It has the power to simply break the thread and go. But what happened? Because it is tied to something, it thinks that it is tied forever. Same thing with us only. We are tied to something. We are tied to some life. We are tied to some perceptions. We are tied to all of that stuff. And when you are in the presence of Pashupati, you are free. because he liberates you from all this bandage. Mruganna Bhima means let all your fears and perceptions and troubles and tribulations, they will run away like sheep in the presence of God consciousness, divine consciousness. Let's chant this. This prayer is so intoxicating. The more and more you chant this Rudram, that's where you connect to this power of this prayer. Now when you chant this Stuhi, Srutam, Gartasadam, Yuvanam, now you see, there is no, now you are connecting to the inner meaning of this prayer. What is lost in today's life is people are chanting. They do not understand why they are chanting. What is the principle of Vinayaka? What is the principle of Ganesha? What is, when you connect to this, a joy you derive is much more than if simply by chanting we feel so happy. Understand what it is to know what you are chanting and chanting, how much ananda it will give. That's why you cannot stop chanting. Right? Om Gam Ganapati, for the last 7 days, even if you want to stop that mantra, oh, I want to sleep, please stop. It won't stop. It keeps going. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Glaum Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Srim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam. Because the mantra is chanting the mantra. It's no longer the mind that is chanting the mantra. First you chant the mantra, then mantra chants you, then mantra chants chanting the mantra. Then what happens? You're just observing. Mantra is just going like crazy. And you just keep watching the mantra. And as that mantra unfolds itself, you will see the incredible power of connecting to that mantra is letting the mantra chant the mantra. Rudram, that's what happens. Out of all of a sudden your mind will catch some Stuhi Srutam Gartasadam Yuvanam Mruganna Bhima Mupahatnu Mugram. Now it's going. What is all this mean? Then you are liberated from this artificial chanting. It becomes a Nirantara Namasmarana. All the time Namasmarana goes on. When that happens, what happened? Bharata was chanting Rama's name all the time. He looked exactly like Rama only. Sarupyam you will get. The Sarupyam you will get because of the Namasmarana. When the mantra is chanting the mantra, so much so Bharata looked like Rama because of chanting Rama's name that even Hanuman mistook. When he was bringing back the Sanjeevani, right, the whole mountain, he landed at Nandigrama thinking that Rama was there. And suddenly he asked, hey, who is this guy that is looking exactly like Rama? Then he understood that it was Bharata who surrendered himself to the name of Rama. This is Sarupyam. Sayujyam, Salokyam, Samipyam. First Samipyam, you have to come close to that mantra. Then Samipyam, Sayujyam is end. Then Salokyam, then Sarupyam, then Sayujyam. Samipyam means first close. Salokyam, then you enter into that world. You enter into the mantra. First you are close to the mantra, then you enter into the mantra. Then what happens? As you chant the mantra, you become the mantra. That's called mantra siddhi. So much so that when you say something, it is like saying the mantra. That's why when great people, you go and ask them, I have all this trouble. Once they say, I have taken care of it, there is no need for you to worry about, because their mantra, they have that kind of siddhi that they will take care of all the trouble. And then Sayujyam, you become one with the mantra. Yes, tu hisrutam Mruda charitre rudrastavano anyante asvannivapantu sena. One more time. Stuhi srutam nugram Mruda charitre रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन् निवपन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः I'll have to परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरा मघवभ्य स्तनुष्व अवस्थिरा मघवद्भ्यस्तनुष्व tongue twisted. Avasthira Maghavaddhyastanushva. Maghavaddhyastanushva. Okay. Avasthira Maghavaddhyastanushva. Avasthira Maghavaddhyastanushva. Avasthira मीढ्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडया मृडया मीढ्वस्तोकायतनयाय परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरा मघवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमीढ्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडया परिणो रुद्रस्य स्थिरा यस्तनुष्वमीढ्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडया परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरा मघवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमीढ्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भू भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम्